Hey, everybody. I'm going to give it a minute. I'm going to give everybody a minute to join. There we go. Make sure everything is working, and then we'll get started. Let's see. All right. It's on. Okay. It's working on Facebook. It's working on TikTok. All right. We might just be cooking with grease, y'all. Yep. All right. I don't know why it's frozen on my screen. So what's up, everybody? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Markia. I'm known on social media as the Money Plug, and I am a certified financial education instructor, amongst other things. And so today is just, I want to bring back the monthly workshops that I used to do last year. Because we got way too busy to keep it going. And so I figured like every month we'll pick a topic, or I did a poll actually on Instagram stories. So every month we'll do a poll, and then at the end of the month we'll do some sort of workshop based on the answers or the response to the poll, to see what everybody wants to know. It's no point in me teaching you guys things that you don't want to know, right? So by doing the poll, it allows me to kind of get the temperature of the room, see what you guys need from me, and then provide those things for you. If you registered for the event, then by this time tomorrow, you'll get a whole bunch of freebies. You'll get some budget templates. You'll get some little worksheets courtesy of the National Financial Educators Council. Things like how to identify your needs versus your wants, how to set SMART goals, things like that. But this is going to be an ongoing series that I do. Now, the only thing is you got to catch a live. They're not going to be saved like my lives typically are on YouTube. And that's for good reason. I want you guys to get in and get the information while it's fresh. That way I can answer all you guys' questions in the comments, give you that kind of one-on-one time you need, and just in case your situation is specific. And so you guys can feel like your voice is heard. I don't want you guys to be watching like 6-month-old videos and trying to ask questions on it, because 9 times out of 10, I probably won't even see your comments. So if you're here, you're here. And if you're not, well, there's always next month. But if I can bring these to you guys a little bit more frequently, I'll try to. But I mean, as of right now, with my bandwidth, I can only do these once a month. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. So today's topic is, are you really getting money? A lot of people think you got to make a lot of money, right, in order to be considered financially successful. And so today we're going to be talking about things like the 5 steps to make you financially successful. So that you can get a good understanding of what you need in order for you to consider yourself financially successful, because that could be different from someone else. The first thing that you guys need to understand is that personal finance is called personal finance for a reason. Your journey is going to be as unique as you are. So you got to stop looking at everybody else's method to their madness. You got to stop looking at everybody's recipe. You got to stop looking at what everybody else is doing and look at what you need. What do you need? What makes sense for you? You don't make the same amount of money as other people. You don't have the same expenses as other people. You don't have the same financial traumas that cause you to make certain decisions as other people. So a lot of times when you guys are reading these self-help books, looking at these videos online and kind of consuming this content, a lot of times it doesn't resonate with you all, or it's just not clicking for you when you try to put stuff into action because it's not meant for you. Again, your personal finance journey is supposed to be personal to you. So first you need to be able to identify what you need. That way you can go out and get those things to kind of set you on your path. So before we talk about the 5 steps to make you financially successful, first of all, this is a no judgment zone. So if you guys got questions, put them in the comments. It's the only way I know that you guys are retaining the information that I'm spitting out, because it is going to be a lot. As well as it's the only way that I know that I can help you. If you have a sensitive situation and you're not comfortable putting your questions in the comments, my email address floats at the bottom of your screen in the banner. Please feel free to email me. Give me a couple of days to respond. I do get a large amount of emails in a day, but I always try to go back and read you guys' emails. If you are on TikTok, I'm really responsive to my comments if you guys ask questions or if you use the Q&A feature on my profile. And if you're on Facebook, join my Facebook group. I answer every single question in the Facebook group. It doesn't matter what the question is about. As long as I have an answer, you'll have an answer. If you're watching this on YouTube, I definitely suggest that you guys get in the comments, because this will not be saved. So if you're going to try to go back and watch this at the end and then ask questions, I'm not going to see it because the video is not going to be there. All right. Little housekeeping things. Let's see. First things first. What is financial success? Literally, the textbook definition of financial success is whatever you consider it to be. I guess that's a nice way of saying it. Success is defined by the person who seeks it. What I consider to be financially successful isn't the same thing as the person next to me. There are a lot of people who put a dollar amount on financial success, whereas other people don't really value the amount, they value the time. So for me, for example, for me, I consider myself financially successful. I consider myself financially successful because I have the luxury of being able to spend my time in the way that I want to. If I want to get a job, I can get a job. If I don't want to get a job, I don't have to get a job, and I'm still taken care of financially. I'm not living like I'm not struggling. I have a ton of freedom. I'm able to take care of my family in a way that they deserve. I get to spend a lot of time with my family. I travel a lot, so to me, that makes me financially successful. But my definition could be different. Somebody else could define financial success as having $1 million in the bank, or investing, having 200K in investments, or owning 6 properties for real estate. Everybody's definition of financial success varies. So it is very important that when you are finally sitting down and starting your financial journey, I know a lot of y'all had like getting your personal finances together, or getting your financial house in order, really is what it's called, for the new year, because you want to buy a house or buy a car, or you just want to get it done. But the most important thing that you need to understand before you really start diving deep into this is that you need to define what it looks like for you, not what it looks like on social media, not what it looks like to your mom or to your aunt or to your grandma, sister, baby mother, little cousin. You need to define for yourself, what do you need in order to consider yourself financially successful. That is going to be the most important part out of everything that you hear today. And again, this isn't going to be a super long live, y'all. I don't want to overwhelm y'all with too much information, mainly because on the East Coast, it's like 8 o'clock at night. But I definitely want to kind of just start the dialogue and get you guys thinking. All of the rest of the For the rest of the week, all of the content that's going to be curated on my platforms is going to feed into this. So we're going to talk about, all the TikToks and Instagrams that I'm going to be posting for the rest of the week are going to be talking about tips to make you financially successful, how to evaluate what that means for you, some steps to take, tools and resources. Y'all know I'm real big on like free or very, reasonably priced resources for you all to kind of get a little farther ahead on your journey. So just definitely this is the most important question out of everything I'm going to ask. So make sure you understand for yourself, what is financial success to you? Now, once you get that down, right? Because like I said, you define what it means to be financially successful. Once you get that down, that's when you want to start looking at the steps. What steps should you take in order to consider yourself to be financially successful? Before we look at these steps, I want to say something. I get it, right? I got social media just like y'all got social media. I got private pages just like y'all do. So I see the flash and the glitz and the glamour and the soft girl life, or the whatever you guys want to call it. And I get it. And it's cute. And I love the aesthetic. But unfortunately, for a lot of us, it's cute to look at, but that's not an attainable goal for your life. When you are making these decisions, when you are defining what these things mean to you, when you are setting these goals, the most important thing is that you have to be realistic. You have to know where you are, and be realistic with the plan to get wherever you're trying to be. You can't not have a job, not have an education, and think you're going to make $1 million by Friday. I don't care how many e-courses you take. I don't care how many ebooks you buy. I don't care how many YouTube videos you watch. The unspoken reality is that the vast majority of us set unattainable goals, and that is why we do not consider ourselves to be financially responsible. I'm sorry, financially successful. I get it, right? Shoot for the moon, at least you'll land in the stars. And that's a cool concept to have. But when it comes to your finances, I'm not trying to be that far apart. You know how far apart those stars are from the moon? I'm trying to hit my target. I'm trying to be dead set in the middle. I'm trying to be 100, like all of my goals. I don't want to shoot for the moon when it comes to my finances. I want to hit those goals. And in order to do that, you got to be realistic. So I'm not going to ask y'all to share y'all business, but if you know what it means to be financially successful to you, if you already know what that looks like, put it in the comments. Let me see. You never know what you think or what you say could inspire somebody else. It could be what's on somebody else's list. If you're not comfortable putting in the comments, like I said, shoot me an email. Tell me what you consider to be, what you need to be financially successful. What are your KPIs, I guess you could call it. What do you consider financially successful to mean? All right, let's break it down. So there are 5 key steps to being financially responsible, right? 5. Obviously, it's probably a whole lot more, but if we narrow them down, right, it's down to 5. The first step is going to be identifying where you are now. Now, when I say that, Debt free, no more student loans. I like that. I like that. And that's attainable, right? That's something that you can accomplish in this lifetime. So the first step is, where are you now, right? Before you can start making goals, before you can start knocking stuff off your New Year's resolution list, the first thing you have to do is evaluate where you are now. And I don't mean physically, I mean financially. Where are you? How much debt do you have? How much credit card debt do you have? How much debt do you have in collections? What are your monthly expenses? What are your monthly income, right? How much money you got coming in? How many people owe you money? How much money do they owe you? Look at your employee, look at your job, right? What kind of the benefits do you have, and what are the dollar amounts that they're worth, right? If you have healthcare, right? How much is that saving you in a year? Or how much does it cost you in a year? You need to know all of these things in order to set these goals that's going to get you to that next step. Nobody should be able to tell you about your business. Nobody should be able to tell you about your finances better than you. Nobody should be calling from somebody's bank customer service about charges or anything like that and you not know about it. You should be able to identify anything about you financially without, like, I don't even know how to explain. Like, for me, all right, I guess I'll use myself as an example. So for me, one thing I'm gonna do is check my bank account. I've been a victim of identity theft and fraud, I feel like, so many times. So for me, it's born out of trauma, me constantly checking my bank account, constantly checking my transaction history. Matter of fact, I just posted on Facebook the other day. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, I just posted on Facebook the other day that I received a notification that my social security number was used for an address that I have never lived at. And I would have never known that if I did not have identity monitoring, because I'm obsessed with the where am I now? Where am I trying to be? And I knew that identity monitoring was going to be that thing that helped me get to where I'm trying to be. Because if I would have never gotten the identity monitoring and I never would have got the notification that my social security number was being used fraudulently, that could have impacted me negatively in the future. That could have really hurt me. Somebody could have went and opened up accounts and I would have had no clue until it came time for me to use my credit. And they would have been like, hold on, big dog, got too much dip on your chip. You see what I'm saying? So it's really important that you understand, where are you now and what tools can you use to kind of make that happen, right? So number one, you're going to need a budget. I know y'all hate the B word, and I kept saying I was going to stop using the B word, but when I say spending plan, y'all be looking at me crazy, and y'all not about to look at me like I don't know what I'm talking about. But you guys need to have a plan. You have to have a plan, spend a plan, budget. I don't care what you call it, you need one. It is impossible for you to have your financial house in order if you do not have a budget. You need to know exactly how much money you have coming in and exactly how much money you have coming out. And it's so crazy because, like, when I have these appointments with people and when I'm meeting with y'all, and the first thing I ask, do you have a budget? Like, how much money do you have coming in? It's always a guess. Well, I think I might have. Now, I get it. Some of you are not on a fixed income. Maybe you don't make salary, so it's hourly based. But you can have an average. So on average, I make. And the only way you'll be able to understand that average is with a budget. So I got my first little freebie for you guys. I want you guys to go to this website. I pay for it, so y'all don't have to. This is completely free. And the wild part about this that I hate that y'all not using is that when you guys fill this out, when you go to physical.com/themoneyplug, when you go and you answer the questions and it gives you like a little teeny tiny little budget to work with. It gives you the option for a free 15-minute appointment with me to talk about anything except your credit, because I don't have your credit report. So, I mean, it's more so your finances in general. But during that free 15-minute appointment, what happens is I have more questions for you. We talk and all that stuff, and I give you an even more detailed, customized budget and action plan, completely customized based on the goals that we identified through the survey as well as through the phone call. We talk about investments, retirement, if you have rental properties. We talk about debt. We come up with a debt repayment strategy if you need it. But this is such an underutilized resource that I provide for you guys. And it's funny because I talk about it every time I get on live, and a lot of people aren't using it. Having a budget can change your entire life. It's one thing to know that you're not good with money, but it's another thing to see that you're not good with money. A lot of y'all are visual learners. So you need to see for yourself that you're fucking the money up. You're fucking up the church's money. The only person you have to blame for this is you. And for a lot of people, it takes looking at it and seeing that you are the problem for you to make that change. Even if you already have a budget, right? Even if you already have a budget, I highly suggest that you guys use this resource. It's free. Why not? It's completely free. You don't even got to enter no card information. Even when you have your appointment with me, free 15 minutes for us to talk about whatever it was you talked about in that survey. And then I give you an even more in-depth budget and action plan. Free. All you got to do is fill it out. But this is a first step in order for you to really understand where you are, big picture. Now, when you're doing your budget, what I typically tell people, and there's another reason why I'm doing this at the end of the month, I tell people to print out your last bank statement. Your bank statement is 30 days worth of transactional history. Print out your last bank statement and categorize your spending. Look at how much you're spending on food. Look at how much you're spending on entertainment, like going to the movies, going to the club, balling out on bitches, whatever it is you do, right? I want you to go through and categorize all of your spending and then add it up. You need to see it. You need to be confronted with the truth. Because let me tell y'all, when I first saw how much I spent on DoorDash, hurt my chest. I felt like Ricky and Boys in the Hood. I was like, it hurt. It hurt to be confronted with that truth. That it's not that I wasn't making enough money. It's not that I had too many bills. The problem was I like to eat out too much. And I had to face that reality. A lot of you, it's not that you're not making enough money. It's not that you have too much debt. It's just that you're mismanaging the money that you have. And so you're constantly living paycheck to paycheck. Having a budget can help you overcome that. Now, I'm not saying you can budget your way out of poverty, because if you're not making enough money, you're not making enough money. But again, until you have a budget that's going to break it down for you, you will never know what the real problem is. This is how you identify what that problem is. So back to what we were talking about, right? So the first step in becoming financially successful is going to be identifying where you are now. And a budget is a really, really big part of that. But it's not the only part of that, right? So you're going to have a budget. It's going to show you your income and your expenses. But you know what else I'm going to have you do? If you have a 401k, I'm going to have you pull that up too. Let's look at your contributions. Matter of fact, pull your pay stubs up. We're going to pull, if you guys have ADP through your employer, pull that up. Let's look at how much you're contributing to your retirement. If you have investments, let's look at that too. How much do you have invested? If you have rental properties, let's pull up some sort of sheet that shows, like, you know, how much money you're spending at each property compared to how much money that property is bringing in for you. You need to, anything involving you and money, you need to have it in front of you when it comes time to looking at, okay, where am I right now? For those of you who are employed, this also means looking at your employee benefits. A lot of people, after you get the job, you stop paying attention. Let's be real. After you get the job, you probably never look at your benefits again, as long as every time you go to the doctors, you're good for it, right? As long as your insurance goes through, right? You don't pay no attention. It's time to go back and look at that packet that HR sent you. It's time to go back and look at that. And I'm not talking about just looking at how much you get paid, because your employee benefits extend beyond your salary. How much are you paying for healthcare? Are you using the healthcare? So how much are you paying a year in copays? What, like, do they do retirement matching when it comes to, like, to your 401k? What other benefits? There's, like, some people jobs like give them gym membership. Some people jobs give them weird stuff. Like, for example, my day job pays for pet adoptions, right? Look at all of your employee benefits and write that down. How much money is this saving you a year, right? How much money is this holding on? Oh, excuse me, something in my eye. How much money is this preventing you from spending, right? If you have more than one job, this means you're going to have to go through both jobs. If you don't have a job, whatever affects your flow of money. So let's say you do hair out your house, right? This means that you have to go to the store and you got to get supplies. How much are you spending on hair grease? How much are you spending on gel? How much are you spending on pins? How much are you spending on rollers? What's your gas and electric look like now that you're doing hair out your house compared to when you wasn't doing hair out your house? You need to be, anything that involves money and you need to be evaluating it at this stage. If you are an entrepreneur and you've been in business for a year, this means you need to go back and look at last year's 1099s. If you do freelance work, this means you need to be looking at all of your transactions. This means you need to be evaluating your business expenses. All of that needs to be done at this stage. And it does seem like a lot. It is a lot. But I'm telling you, the more detailed you are at this stage, the easier the rest of the steps get. But, okay, this goes back to, you guys need a budget. This one is free. I have no idea why a lot of you aren't taking advantage of it. And you still get free 15 minutes to come sit with me, right? So, oh crap, I didn't even introduce myself. So sorry. Because somebody was like, bro, who are you and why are you preaching like this? I'm so sorry. So for those of you who don't know me, right? My name is Markia. I'm known as the Money Plug here on social media. I'm a certified financial education instructor. A lot of y'all know me for the credit tips that I post on TikTok. I am currently studying to get my AFC, or my accredited financial counselor designation. And I actually got a cute little boom bio for you guys. I have been featured in Business Insider, Bankrate, Yahoo, Money Geek. I've been on WJZY, or AKA Queen City News, multiple times as a subject matter expert. I am not just a person with a phone on TikTok just saying shit to be saying shit. I am actually certified to be teaching you the things that I'm trying to teach y'all, right? And we talk about this a little bit later on in the webinar, but I'm what would be considered a more knowledgeable other, somebody who knows things that you want to know and actually is certified to give you that advice. I would love to take the time to tell you guys that everybody that y'all see giving advice on social media is not certified to do so. So please be extremely careful with who you are taking advice from, and even with me. Y'all know my motto if you've been following me for a while: trust but verify. Trust that what I'm telling you is true, but go back and validate it for yourself, right? Um, but that's my fault. Completely forgot to introduce myself because I was so excited just to jump in. But um, let me get back to it. That was funny. That was funny. Y'all be killing me in the comments. Now, so I guess this kind of lends more to the, do the free budget and action plan, and then you get a free 15 minutes with me so that we can have a conversation about what it is you're trying to fix and how to fix it, right? Now, where are you now? This is not to beat down on yourself. This is not for you to punish yourself. This is honestly one of those moments where you have the truth, you see the truth, and you forgive yourself. A lot of times when I talk to people, they're embarrassed. There's often shame associated with their current financial situation. And to be 1,000% honest with y'all, that is what is holding you back. A lot of you are so ashamed of where you are because you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be in life. I hear it all the time. I'll be 30 this year. Shout out to all my 93 babies, but I'll be 30 this year. And I hear all the time with my friends, like, I'm not where I want to be in life. I feel like, it's just not coming together. I thought I was going to be much farther ahead financially than I am now. And I really think that this is society putting these burdens on us. There is no set thing in stone that says by this age, by 26, you have to have this. By 28, you have to have this. By 30, you have to have this. We put those restrictions on ourselves and then beat ourselves up when we can't make it, right? Or when we don't make it. Not that we can't, we just don't, because life be life. But it's really important that when you guys are at this stage, you cannot move to the next level until you forgive yourself for the current state of your finances. You have to forgive yourself. A lot of you did not know any better, or you knew better and then chose to do the opposite. No matter what your reasoning is for ending up in the situation that you are now, you have to forgive yourself. It is going to be impossible for you to make any change if you're still harboring hate in your heart for yourself, or if you are still punishing yourself for the decisions that you made. Exercise I always suggest to my friends that kind of helps us get past this is the plate exercise. I saw it on Pinterest like years ago, and I did it, and now I'm obsessed with it. So now I'm gonna tell y'all about it. Now, some people do it with paper, and some people, I like doing it with the plate because I like the noise it makes when the plate breaks. But you go to the Dollar Tree, you get a ceramic plate and a Sharpie, right? On this plate, I want you to write down every negative thought, idea, whatever it is, action that got you to where you are right now. I want you to write all of it down. How you feel about yourself looking at all this stuff now. Why you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be. Write down that you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be. Anything negative attributed to you and your finances, I want you to write it on this plate. I don't care if you gotta do front, back. I don't care if you gotta get 3, 4, 5 plates. I want you to write it all down. And I want you to go get a market bag or a Ziploc or something like that. I want you to go out back, and I want you to take a deep cleansing breath and break the fucking plate. Because at that point, I never want to hear those words again. You got the words out, right? You expressed yourself, and that was done. Once you break the plate and break the pieces, throw it in the trash, call it a day. Now, some people choose to write it on paper and then they'll like burn the paper, which is cool, but fire safety. But I like the plate experiment because it's something cathartic about breaking that plate and breaking those mental chains that you hold on yourself when it comes to your financial situation. And it's just to me, it's just really liberating. It feels very free. Now, obviously, I'm not saying everybody has to do this. Do what makes you comfortable, but it is very important that you get these feelings out so that when we move to this next step, we can all move together, right? When I move, you move, just like that. So It's really important that you guys do whatever exercise you need to forgive yourself, but forgiving yourself is a very important part in this process, right? All right, so you've identified where you are now. You done pulled out your employee benefits. You done got your budget together. You gotta, you've looked at all of your debt. You looked at all of your income, all of your expenses. You looked at everything. Something I left out that I actually do want to talk about is you also need to look at your skills slash education, right? So where are you currently? Do you have a college degree? Do you have college credits? What skills do you possess? What certifications do you have? And the reason why is because all of these skills or and these degrees and these certifications they all have monetary value. Obviously, there's no dollar associated with these things. However, you can make money off of each and every one of these things. So you also want to do an audit of your skills and your education and what you bring to the table, right? The shit that you brag about, that you've done, that you've accomplished, those kinds of things, they have a monetary value associated with them because you can use them to improve your financial situations. For example, if you have a college degree, but the job that you have right now, you're not using that degree, or they're not taking your degree into consideration for how they pay you, you can always do a salary renegotiation. Excuse me. Or you can start looking for another job that's going to pay you based off of the skill set that you have currently. So that's always something that you want to take into consideration when you're considering the current state of your finances. That also includes your skill sets. Now, any questions real quick? If you got a degree, put degree in the comments. If you got a certificate, put certificate in the comments. I saw somebody already said it. It's like, I got a degree too. Put it in the comments. If you just know you good at something, bro, just put the you ain't gotta tell me all your business, but everybody got something, right? Everybody has some sort of skill that they can use to make money. That's how the LLC Twitter had y'all in the chokehold because they were telling you, right, that you could do this and you could do this with your skills. If you have a skill set, if you're good at something, if you have a degree that demonstrates that you are proficient in something, like that has money. That's money you leaving on the table if you're not using it. I can't tell what platform this is with these comments, but y'all is killing me. And I can't read them, but y'all funny. All right, now the second step. Now, this is where I'm gonna need y'all to be a little bit more engaging. So pay attention. Where do you want to be? And don't tell me I want to be a millionaire. Don't tell me that. Stop telling me that. I hate, absolutely, positively despise when I talk to y'all and I be like, all right, well, what are you trying? Like, what's your goals? Like, what is your goal? I want to have $1 million. I want to be a millionaire. I want a big house. That's not what I mean when I say that. I mean, that's cute, that's fine, but where do you see yourself? So in 5, 10, 15, whatever the time limit is, right? 5 years from now, where do you see yourself financially? How much money do you have invested? What does your 401k look like? What's your salary? What is your income? Like, how much do you have coming in every month? What's your expenses look like? What's your debt to income ratio? Do you have debt? What kind of car do you drive? I want you to get as specific as possible when it comes to the life that you believe that is reachable for you. And I want you to think, when I tell you, I want you to think about it, I want you to get rid of every distraction in your house. And I want you to sit down, put some music on, light a candle, get in a bubble bath. I don't care what it is, but I want you to sit and think, where do you see yourself? Y'all want me to tell y'all where I see myself? Oh, y'all ready? Okay. So 5 years from now, I'll be living in California. At this point, I'll have been in California around 4 or 5 years. And I'm going to be looking to relocate, right? I don't want to stay in California forever. It's too expensive. I'm definitely going to want to come back to the East Coast because we got the best seafood over here. And I drive I want to still have my minivan. I really still want to have my Honda Odyssey. Shout out to the Honda crew. I want to still have my minivan as like the family car. But I also want, y'all gonna laugh at me, but I want one of those Jeeps where you take all the doors off. I want the roll bars. I want the fog lights. I want a super souped up Jeep. And I want it matte purple. Like Kodak Blacks when Lamar Jackson was drafted to the Ravens. That's what I want. That's my car, right? That's what I want. And I want it to be completely paid off. I don't want no car note. I want my expenses to be less than 15% of my monthly income. And I'm gonna have to make some money because y'all know I got a big family. So I want my expenses to be less than 15% of my monthly income. Now, y'all see how I didn't necessarily say I want to make a certain amount of money per month. I just said that I want my expenses to take up less than a certain amount. You see what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily restricting me. And it's also not something where I feel like if I didn't reach it, or like if I didn't reach that specific number, I'm not going to beat myself up. I didn't put a specific number. I used a percentage. That's a cheat code. So I want my expenses to be less than 15% of what my income is. I want to have, y'all know I collect pops. And there's an app that all pop collectors have where you enter all of your pops in and it tells you how much your collection is worth. I want my collection to be worth at least 10 racks. At least 10 racks. It's like collecting art, low key. I want my collection to be worth at least 10 racks. I want my office to be stacked. I'm talking, I want degrees, I want certificates, I want awards. Like I literally can see my life. I have a book. It's not over at my desk right now, but I have a book where I literally sit down once a week and I write down what I see for myself in my future. And I'm talking about, I be living it, bro. I will literally sit here and visualize an entire day of my life because I want it so bad. I believe it. That's also like leaning into manifestation, right? But let me tell y'all, faith without works is dead. Let's be clear. But I can visualize this life for myself and I believe that it's going to happen. And so subconsciously, because I believe in it so heavy and I know exactly what I want, subconsciously, the moves that I'm making are going to get me closer and closer to those goals, right? For example, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, today I posted an update on my bingo card. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. So I made a 2023 bingo card at the beginning of the year. Can y'all see that? I made a 2023 bingo card at the beginning of the year, just with some goals for the year, right? Just for the year. And they're not all financially aligned, but these, these are based off of my skills and my money. Remember, we talked about that. When you're talking about financial success, you got to look at your education and your skills. So far, I've recertified my board certified credit repair specialist, board certified credit score consultant, and board certified credit consultant certifications. I have 2 podcast appearances already in the books for 2023. I'm already booked to speak at a convention, which was also one of the things. Now, some of the other ones are like save $20,000, get 1,000 YouTube subscriptions, which will also allow me to monetize my platform. So you see, my goals kind of range from money to like what I'm working on, but I envision these things for myself. And every morning when I'm writing out my manifestations, they're in alignment with the goals that I have set for myself. It don't matter how you do it, but where do you want to be? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want life to look like? You got to believe it. You got to see it. You got to want it. It's not enough to be like, well, I want to make $1 million. Okay. And how? You get what I'm saying? How are you going to get that $1 million? Oh, I want to start a business. Okay, how? Like you got to break it down, get as detailed as possible, because that's going to lead into step number 3. But where do you see yourself in the future, right? Your future is just as important as your present. I'm not saying obsess over it. I'm not saying become so focused on your future that you're ignoring what you're going through now. But what I am saying is if you don't see a future for yourself, then you're just you up shit's creek with no paddle. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, baby? What direction are you taking? Where are your steps leading you to? You need a plan. But in order to have a plan, you got to have a destination. Somebody said, I just don't want to be broke no more. Okay, and be a young boy. Some of these comments are super funny. I really love y'all. Somebody said, oh, okay, so that's an attainable goal. Somebody said, at this point, I just want to have a house, at least 1 acre, 6 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a 3-car garage. You see how like specific that is? I feel like low key, I see it. I see your house for you, low key. That's an attainable goal, number 1, right? 5 years from now, you could do that. And it's tangible. It's something that you can visualize. I love that for you. I'm speaking that into existence for you. So who think they know what the next step is? So the first step is, where are you now, right? Identify your current state of your finances, your skills, your education, your job, whatever it is, everything about you. And you're like, if I took a picture of you right now, right? What's in that picture? What's in that picture? The second step, right? Where do you want to be? Super self-explanatory, right? Setting your goals. This means setting SMART goals, attainable goals. This means, how do I say this without saying that? Be realistic. I'm not saying to shit on yourself, but what I am saying is that if you know that you are not capable of doing something, then don't put it on there. Like, come on now. Be realistic. Like, that's all I can really say is be realistic. You don't want to, it's not shoot for the moon, at least I'll land amongst the stars. Not when it comes to money. You can't, that's too much you leaving up to chance. Not when it comes to your coins. Now, the third step, right? So the third step is how can you get there? Super self-explanatory, right? How can you get there? Now, in order to identify a plan of action, right? You got to make sure that the goals that you set are clearly identifiable. So, for example, one of my goals on my bingo card is to save $20,000 this year. So now I know, all right, cool. Let me see. Let me do the math, right? So boom, 20K, right? I'm going to divide that by 12. This means I need to save $1,666 and 66 to 67 cents a month in order to hit that 20K at the end of the year, right? Okay, so how can I make that kind of money? So this means I need to go look at my budget. What my income look like compared to my expenses? Do I have this money free? That's the first step. I need to identify how much free money I have to put towards my goal. And if I don't have any free money to put towards my goal, do I have the time to get the money? Can I go get another job? Can I start a business? Can I get a little side hustle, do a little DoorDash, a little Instacart? This is why it's important for you to evaluate your current state, because by looking at what I have to give now, it's going to help me create a plan of action to get me to where I'm trying to be in the future. So for me, I make the kind of money where I could put that to the side if I, stuck to my budget. I'm not perfect. I don't expect y'all to be. I do not stick to my budget every single month. That's just what it is. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I do not stick to my budget every month. But if I stick as close as possible to my budget every month, then that 20K is attainable because I didn't already set up a plan. I just need to save at least $1,000, right? $166 a month. And I'll reach my goal of 20K at the end of the year. Too easy. Now, let's say that one of my goals was to purchase a home. I want to purchase, for me, I want at least 5 acres of land, right? If I'm looking at the current price of what 5 acres costs, right? Then I'll identify, let's say I want to get a USDA loan. For those of you who are not familiar, this means that I can go out into the rural areas, get some land, and they'll build a house and all that stuff, and all of that will be included in my loan, right? So let's say I want to do one of those. Then I can Google what the average USDA loan in a specific area looks like, right? And they'll give me like an average amount. So that'll give me a dollar amount. So then what I can also do is look to see, I can even call around to some lenders and say, hey, if I'm looking to get a loan in this amount, what does my credit score need to look like? What does my credit profile need to look like? This allows me to set those goals that's going to get me there. All right, cool. You need a 750. All right, cool. I ain't got a 750 yet. So now let me look at my credit and break down what I need to work on and the timeline I need to work on it in order to qualify for the loan that's going to get me my house prior to my deadline. You get what I'm saying? You need to understand your current situation in order to set up a plan for the future. But these need to be clearly defined and attainable goals in order for you to really set up that plan of action. Something else that I need you guys to understand is that your plan of action may take some twists and turns. It's not linear. You won't go from here to there, right? Sometimes it looks like you go here, you turn left, you go right, you go back, you go up, you go down. It's a journey, right? Life be lifing. Let's be honest. Life be fucking lifing. But it's important for you to understand the gist of what your plan is. Just because you got to deviate from it a little bit, delayed does not mean denied. Doesn't mean you give up. It doesn't mean you quit. It doesn't mean you throw it in the towel and just get another goal. It don't always mean that, okay? But you also need to be flexible with your plan of action. You don't got to be flexible with the goal, but the plan of action can remain flexible. Somebody put flexible. Hey, Sean. I don't know why out of everybody who's joined the live, it jumped up big as hell. It jumped up big as hell. You got to stay flexible when it comes to your plan of action. This is also going to require, so you remember that budget that you did in the beginning? The cool thing about a budget is that you always got to go back and edit it. I go back and review my budget every month. Do you know why I review my budget every month? Because every month I can say what I'm going to spend for every category. But at the end of the month, I go back and evaluate my actual spending. What did even though I said I was only going to spend $40 on like going to the movies and stuff like that, how much did I really spend? Even though I said I was only going to have like $100 to eat out for the whole month, how much did I really spend? You get what I'm saying? because it's one thing to plan and then it's another to do. So you need to always make sure that you are going back to reevaluate the plan, that to make sure that you are, following as close as possible to that. Obviously, for those of you who like get hourly wages or you have a lot of variable bills, it's not going to always be 100% on point. But I always like to tell myself is I want to be at least within $50 of the amount that I put on my budget when I first start at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, I tell myself I want to be as close to $50 or I'll even spread it out a little bit. I want to be at least $100, close to whatever I have in my budget for those separate categories. And then as the year progresses, I lower that amount. So 100, and then maybe like 75, and then like maybe 50. It depends on how often you review your budget. But you always, 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 always understand that you have to go back and reevaluate your budget because shit changes. Maybe you paid off a credit card. Maybe you got a raise at work. Maybe you paid off a loan, paid off your car. Maybe you got another check coming in. You started a business and then the business is starting to turn a profit and now you're starting to pay yourself in the business, right? Anything can happen in a month. So always make sure that you're going back and reevaluating your budget and action plan so that you can always make sure that whatever it is you have planned is still leading you on the path to your goals. Precisely. I cannot with y'all today. Oh, here it is. Sorry. On my iPad for a second. It was staring me in my face. If it was a snake, it would have bitten me. All right, step 4. We almost done, y'all. Listen, I said I wasn't going to keep y'all on. We have 41 minutes. We are almost done. And as a matter of fact, y'all can start putting y'all questions in the comments now. So if y'all got any money or credit questions, start dropping them in the comments now. That way, when I'm done, I can go back and answer everybody's questions and we can get out of here at 9 o'clock. All right? All right. We'll keep it like that. Deal? And y'all know me. I go back and answer every single question. I do not get off live until I answer every single question that you guys have. So it don't matter whether I'm talking about it or not. Whatever questions you have, put them in the comments. This is your one shot to talk to somebody who know what the fuck they're talking about. So why not? So this kind of ties into what I was just talking about, the next step, or step number 4. But monitor your spending. Step number 4 is monitor. Well, it's really develop. I didn't want to make it too long, y'all. I'm still trying to come up with like some catchy like acronyms or something, but it's really develop, execute, and monitor your spending, right? So, and the reason why I say that, and again, that's why I said it really ties into what we were just talking about, is because again, you got to remain flexible. Because at any point in time, let's say you lose your job, now what? Are you just gonna give up on your goals? No, you just gotta switch, move some shit around, get another job, do whatever you gotta do to keep shit afloat. Even if you fall behind for a couple months, all right, cool, got a job now. Now I can start catching up on stuff. You gotta monitor your spending. This means that you need to constantly, I have so many apps, it's crazy. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. So I have an app called Albert that monitors my spending, and low key, Albert be telling me about myself because like it'll be like, yo, by the way, you went to Chick-fil-A 6 times in the last 3 months. What's up with that? Like you could have used that money for something else. And like, first of all, mind your fucking business. But second of all, I low key need that because I don't realize it, especially because like now that everything is card, and a lot of times I don't even have to take my card out. I'm just tapping my phone. It's easier for us to spend money. So we don't really think about it when we go to spend the money, as opposed to if you have cash, you physically see that money leaving your account. With my card, I'm just swipe. Like I just be just doing whatever. So you definitely want to make sure that you have, I like apps because I know I'm not good at printing my bank statements out every single month, but so I have apps to monitor my spending. So I have Mint as well, which categorizes my spending. I also have, so I personally have a Marcus by Goldman Sachs high yield savings account, and they have an option to where you can connect all of your other accounts to track your spending. And that's geared specifically towards my savings goals. So that particular app monitors my spending, and it's so that I can associate it with my savings goals to make sure that a lot of the free money that I have goes towards, I'm putting enough towards savings, right? So there are all kinds of apps. Obviously, do what makes you comfortable. A lot of banks provide the service. No, for real. You get a swipe. Target get a swipe. No, for real, because that's definitely me. That's most definitely me. But a lot of banks even offer this as a service to monitor your spending. And it might feel a little bit invasive. I'll be honest. It's not easy having somebody tell you about yourself. But I guarantee you, if you do that for 1 month, so let's say, all right, you got your budget for January, right? And then I'm not a tax professional Chicago guy. I only can advise on what I'm certified in. So I cannot tell you what the tax rate on a 1099-C is. All I can tell you is that with a 1099-C, it's considered income. So do with that as you like. You'll be taxed based on your income as a whole. Does that make sense? That's considered taxable income, so you'll be taxed just like the rest of your income. But I'm not a tax professional to tell you the exact percentage. I apologize. So I just wanted to address that now. So let me tell y'all something. There's two things that I won't talk to y'all about: taxes and investments, because I'm not certified in those things. And I'm a real big fan of staying in my fucking lane. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. But you have to monitor your spending, y'all. And so if you can't physically do it yourself, or you do not trust yourself enough to stay on top of it, if you're one of those people who be like, I'm gonna start a skincare routine, and then you quit 3 days in, I highly suggest that y'all take advantage of some of these fintech apps. There are a lot of apps out here that can help you guys get your financial house in order. You just gotta be willing to, try new things. Read reviews. There are a lot of startups out there, but there are a lot of programs that have been around for a while, or apps that have been around for a while, even apps that help you save. I remember back in the day, I used to have Digit, I think it used to be called, and now it's called like Hello Digit or something like that. And Digit would monitor your spending and then pull money from your checking account to put it into a savings account for you based on your spending patterns, right? And I thought that was so cool. Now I stopped using it once they started charging for it, because y'all know me, I'm cheap as shit. But there's a lot of apps out here that can help you guys not only monitor your spending, but increase your savings, right? To help you get closer and closer to your goals. So do a little research, but always only do what's comfortable for you. So if you're not comfortable with all of these apps, a lot of times it's as simple as going to your bank. Literally as simple as going to your bank. What y'all think the last step is? What you think the last step is? Yes! Oh my God. Somebody said, I know what this is. I read this textbook. No shade, because it is. Damn, you gorgeous. I would have been here, but my phone was dead. Hi, husband. Everybody say hi to my husband. Hi, Mr. Money Plug. You're so extra. But yes, the last step is review and make changes. And this is not just to your spending habits and things like that, but to your plans, because sometimes plans change. I always talk about myself. I use myself as an example because I want you guys to understand that I'm not just speaking from a scholastic viewpoint, right? I'm not only talking as a professional. I've literally gone through this shit. He said I'm here for his extraness. Only you. But I've gone through this. So just a couple years ago. So anybody who knew me personally, y'all knew I lived for the Army. Not because I was super proud to serve my country, but I mean I liked it. It was a check, right? I was an employee, and you would do a 2-4 check. But my family was completely taken care of. The Army paid my rent. The Army gave me money for groceries. The Army paid for my health care. The Army made sure my kids went to okay schools, right? The Army made sure my car payment was paid. The Army did all these great and amazing things for me. So for me, all of my goals were surrounding my career at the time because of how all-encompassing the military is. And so for me, my goals were make it to 20 years. Or I want to make E6 by this time. I want to make E7 by this time, right? Those were my goals. Oh, I want to have this in my TSP by this point. I want to invest my TSP in these funds. All of my goals at that time were involving the military. Well, in 2019, when they told me, thank you for your service, but we got it from here. Here's your check. You know what I'm saying? I literally had to sit down and reevaluate my entire life, not just because I no longer had a job, but because all of my financial goals were surrounding my job and the current state of my current situation. And so now that my situation has changed, I had to pivot. It's not that I didn't still have specific goals. It's just that those goals are going to look different now. So now, as opposed to, I wanted to have this money in my TSP. Now it's, I want to have this much money in my Roth IRA, right? This was also one of those times when I realized that I can't always take every benefit from my job. Or even if I take it from my job, I also need to have another one. So even though the military gave me life insurance, I had a separate life insurance policy. even though, I got a TSP, I have a Roth IRA, right? Just from my bank, right? So it's really, really important for you to understand things like that, because for a lot of people, you lose your job, you lose your livelihood. You won't have health insurance no more. You won't have retirement access to your retirement account anymore, right? You lose a lot of things when you lose your employment because you don't see past your job, and that taught me a very valuable lesson in knowing my value beyond my career. I'm valuable, so this means that you got car insurance, don't you? All right, so then you need life insurance. Cool. They give me life insurance, but just in case they fire me, I'm gonna go get my own policy. I need, security in my old age. I'm getting up there. I turned 30 this year. So I need to make sure that I'm putting money to the side so that when I do officially sit down and become retirement age, you get what I'm saying? I'll have money to live off of. I don't have to be a Walmart greeter if I don't want to. So that also meant I needed to open up a traditional verse or a Roth IRA for me to put funds into. This is really when I started. This is really when I started doing a lot more research, and the same benefits that my job get me, I can get somewhere else. I might gotta pay a little bit more for it, but it's also security that I didn't have. Because when you lose your job and you lose your livelihood, you lose that safety, you lose that net that you have, right? I'm gonna make it back. I get paid in 2 weeks, right? Or I'm good. I can go to the doctors. I got health insurance. You lose all of that. So having that outside of my job was really, really important to me after I got out of the military, and understanding how those benefits work with my finances was also extremely important, which, like I said, goes back to number one, right? Knowing the current state of your finances and employee benefits so that all right, if the shit hit the fan, what do I need in order to maintain the current standard of living that I have? This is how people prepare for layoffs. For those of you who have been paying attention to social media, these tech layoffs are freaking crazy. But if you don't plan properly, it's going to destroy you. If you don't plan properly, it's going to destroy you. Shout out to all the tech girlies that I've been seeing on social media who have been detailing their chronicles, right? Like chronicling their story about, getting laid off, but having their financial house in order so that it didn't really affect them like you would have thought it would, and that they just thriving still. No, for real. I love her. Y'all know. It's two people on TikTok. Y'all can't come. I don't care what they do. I don't care if they record themselves doing it. They ain't do nothing. It's Fanita and Sidoni. And for y'all who don't know Sidoni, she was laid off during the tech layoff. And I loved her transparency and talking about it, but also talking about how, like, girl, I got my shit together, so I'm okay. Because I love that for her. All right, so what we learned today, y'all? What we learned today? First, what the fuck is financial success, right? We talked about how you define what it means to be financially successful. The only person who can tell you what is required in order for you to be considered financially successful is you. Stop letting LLC Twitter and little dirty booty ass motherfuckers on Instagram who renting jewelry and Airbnb in these mansions they showing y'all. Stop letting them tell y'all what you need to be financially successful. They don't live your life. They never had your experiences. They don't have your goals. They don't have your ambition. They don't have your skills. So stop letting people who aren't you define what something looks like for you. Period. Because I'm tired of it. Now, we talked about the 5 steps to make you financially successful, right? Identifying where you are, identifying where you want to be. How are you going to get there? Make sure you pay attention to your finances so that you make sure you're always in alignment to get there, right? And then review. We talked about more knowledgeable others, low key. And I'm gonna get into a little bit more, and then y'all can, like I said, drop your questions in the comments. I'm going back and answering them. But more, y'all gonna be mad when I say this, but I have to say it. Qualified, more knowledgeable others. I get it. Your aunt, your uncle, your sister, your cousin, your baby mother, they probably got money. They've been doing the damn thing. It's been working for their family for generations. But again, right? A lot of people don't know what they're talking about. If you have specific questions if you have questions that are specific to your finances, I always say go seek professional help. There are free places you go. You do not have to come to me. I tell y'all all the time, look, you ain't gotta like me, boo. You ain't gotta like me. You can ask me, do I recommend somebody else? And I will give you the recommendations. There's so many resources out here. But please start going to qualify more knowledgeable others. Because if y'all could see, I don't know if y'all can see comments on YouTube shorts when y'all get on YouTube because I don't really watch them like that. But if y'all could see the comments in one particular YouTube short I did talking about 1099-Cs, it's crazy that the guy brought it up. So y'all know I be on that crusade to tell people to stop using CPNs, and I'll be like dispelling credit rumors and stuff. And one of the rumors is that you can use a 1099-C to write off your own debt if you adopt your straw man and all that shit. And they got mad because I told them that's not true and they're going to end up in jail. And I'm going to be real with y'all. You're going to end up in jail. The first person might get away with it, but the second person usually get caught and they're going to tell them everybody. So if y'all can see the comments on there from people who like, yeah, because my sister, baby mother, little brother, cousin, Stefan, he did this and I used this to write off my house and I used this to write off my car. Y'all are getting entirely too comfortable detailing the crimes, the financial crimes that you are all committing on social media. Stop taking advice from people on YouTube, bro, that don't have no qualifications, that have no idea what they're talking about. Y'all need to seek professional help. Professional. And again, you don't gotta use me, but one thing y'all not gonna do is act like I'm not a professional. Hold up. Because let's be clear, your girl be girling. Look at these certifications. I don't be just talking out my ass. I know what I'm talking about. You guys need to seek the help of more knowledgeable others. Now, what I'm about to say, it's gonna shake the table a little bit. I might hurt somebody's feelings, but that is not my intention. But when I say more knowledgeable others, I also do not mean people who sell life insurance. I'm gonna just put that out there. Every person that sells life insurance is not a financial advisor. I need y'all to be a lot more cognizant of the verbiage that you all are using when you are like advertising your services and stuff, because just because you sell life insurance does not make you an adequate person to talk about investing with, right? It does not make you an adequate person to talk about your credit scores and stuff like that. You might have some knowledge on it, but if that's not your lane, stop swerving in it. Because y'all are confusing a lot of people on social media. A lot of people. And I know it's unintentional a lot of times. However, even if you're doing something unintentionally, the point is you did it. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. I apologize if anybody felt like that was an attack. I swear to God, that wasn't what it was. But I've been seeing a lot of that lately. And I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. Okay? But again, you want to make sure that you're seeking the advice of qualified, more knowledgeable others. You can go to your local bank, your local credit union. They got CDFIs in your area that you could look up and go talk to, right? They have, again, so I'm what is known as a certified financial education instructor. There are so many of us available online. CFPs, AFCs. There's what else? RFAs. There's so many financially aligned, credible people that you can seek advice from instead of taking advice from somebody who living in their mama basement talking about how they make 6 figures with this life insurance shit, the life insurance hustle, or getting people to sign up under them. They still doing that Forex shit where they was like getting people to sign up under them and then convincing them to convince other people. They still selling the ebooks talking about I made 6 figures. Let me teach you this class on how I did it. Not telling y'all that the class is what got them the 6 figures, right? They still doing that. You guys got to make sure that you're doing your research when it comes to who you're taking advice from. Y'all know my motto, even when it comes to me, trust, but verify. Trust that I would never steer you in the wrong direction, but also go back and verify what the fuck I said. Just saying. Now, the first freebie, right, and the only one everybody is going to get, the rest of them, only people who registered for the actual webinar will receive. But again, in order to even start this entire process of getting your financial house in order, y'all need a budget. I pay for this so that y'all don't have to. Physical.com/themoneyplug. It's going to ask you a couple questions. It should take like 5 to 10 minutes to fill out, and it will spit out a customized budget and action plan. But you also get the option for a free 15-minute appointment with me, not to talk credit, and I hate when y'all do that, but to talk about the state of your finances and what you need in order to make it to that next step, right? Because when you have your 15-minute appointment with me, based on the information that you provided in the survey and the information that we go over on the call, you get an even more detailed budget and action plan that you can literally take and start using. Completely free, and it's customized to every person and the goals that you identify when you're filling out the questions. You ain't got, like, if you don't want to meet with me, if you're not comfortable having the 15-minute session with me, shoot me an email, say, hey, I completed your free budget and action plan, right? And I don't want to use my 15-minute appointment. Can you just send me a more detailed breakdown? If I have to ask you more questions in an email, I will. If you're not comfortable answering those questions, I'll just do what I can with the information I got. And then we can go on about our business. I'm here for y'all. I'm here for y'all. This is literally a labor of love for me. I do this because I love doing it. I do this because I'm good at it. I do this because I was y'all. I had me, my husband, and 3 kids in a 1-bedroom apartment over top a shitty hair salon on Baltimore, Arlington, in Baltimore. I'm not just speaking to y'all from a textbook. I've lived this. Literally, I've lived this. But that's all I got for y'all. I'm not gonna beat y'all over the head. Like I said, I wanted to keep it brief. I wanted to keep it minimal, right? I do want to start bringing these workshops back. For those of you who haven't been following me for a really long time, you probably don't know about the workshops, but not Baltimore was the first mistake. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, Ginger. But for those of you who are not familiar with me, I used to do these workshops every month, and every month was something different. Shout out, yo, put in the comments if you remember Hood Niggas Need Credit Too. That was my very first workshop. That's actually coming back. Hood Niggas Need Credit Too was a workshop that I did for men who were recently released from prison, and it was something that started on Clubhouse. Men who were recently released from prison and were trying to reacclimate to society after having a dormant credit profile for X amount of years, right? Because they was locked up. And it kind of like spiraled into something for men. So it was like a credit workshop for men. And oh man, it used to be so cool. So we're gonna bring that back. We're also bringing back the Hot Girl Credit Coach class, but it's gonna be called the Hot Girl Money Coach class. And we also have Bad Bitches Budget too. So the workshops are coming back this year, y'all. I'm super excited. And drum roll, because we're looking into some in-person events too. So I'm still excited. I still get my college year. Oh, thank you. Yes, you need to tell them. Listen, I also put a video up on my TikTok, and I think I put it on Facebook, letting you guys know that I am open to speaking engagement. Let me tell y'all something. I talk to churches. I talk to I spoke to my first, so y'all know, for those of you who don't know, I'm in a military Greek organization, a Greek letter organization. I spoke to a Christian Greek letter organization not too long ago. That was really cool. But if y'all need me, I go where I'm needed. So if I talk to troops. So if you are in the military and you want me to come talk to your soldiers, we could do it virtual. We could do it in person, depending on where you guys are. It don't matter. Whatever you need from me, I'm gonna make it happen. But I do this as a labor of love. I do this because I'm good at it, and I do this because I don't want people to go through the same things that I went through if I can help them avoid that. But screenshot this. You can scan it if you're looking at it on your computer, whatever it is you guys need to connect with me. Make sure you following me on all my platforms, right? Make sure you follow me on all my platforms. I don't always post the same thing on everything. So, if you want the full picture, you have to follow me everywhere. And you know what? I am going to leave this up. At first, I wasn't going to leave up the replay, but I'm going to go ahead and leave the replay up for this month. However, all the months after this, you're going to have to catch me live, baby. You might have to catch me in action. All right? We do need a financial mood board party. Ooh, that is so good. Ooh, we do need to do something like that. We gonna make it shake. We're gonna make it shake. All right, well, y'all know what I always say. Live every day like it's your last, but pay your bills and wear condoms just in case it's not. Thank you guys so much for all of the support. Y'all know it means so much to me. If you guys have questions that you weren't comfortable dropping in the comments, make sure you shoot me an email. It's been going around at the bottom of your screen. You can always DM me on Instagram. I'm not saying that I'll see it and respond, but I try my best to respond to all my DMs. And again, if you DM me after a certain time, it'll just send you my email address so you can shoot me an email instead, all right? Y'all be easy. Y'all be safe, right? And I will see y'all soon. Bye, everybody.